Right, but then, after when I pressed you, what did you say?
I believe I said that I thought we worked well together, and that I might disagree with your philosophy, but I respected you. And I said that you get a lot of job offers in your life, but you're just not okay.
Yes, that's how I remember. This, by the way, is a one-time situation. Make sure you make part of the real ranger.
Just needed to generate a little bit of exhaust fumes to get the stink out of here. Anyway. Let's not. Crazy shit. Anywho, this is just going to be a reminder to everybody. Just an example to everybody. 2 years ago, I was doing well. Probably, I'd say probably 2 years, maybe a little, about 2.5 years ago. I was doing pretty good. I was, when I got paid, I had money left over, my check, after paying my bills, buying my groceries. And I had more than enough money to get back and forth to work for the week. Now, fast forward to, I don't know, but the middle of last year maybe, things started getting rougher. Things started getting to the point where I had to watch what the hell I was doing with my money. I was buying less things, like luxury items, like gas for my old cars, different things on my grocery list. It was started to be the point where it was just strictly what you were going to eat for dinner. And I got some snacks because my wife works from home. Got some snacks for her, and my son, he buys his own stuff since he has his own job. He buys a lot of his own food. The point I'm trying to get across here is that now, let's fast forward to today. When I get my groceries, I strictly only get what we're eating for dinner and maybe a couple of snacks. to kind of fall back on occasionally when you get extra hungry. Plus, like at work, I only drink water all day, or I get the zero sugar Gold Peak tea bottles of that tea. I'll take with me. I try to get enough to last me all week, but I'm not the only one that drinks them, so they get drank up, usually before grocery day. I mean, it's to that point where, and then I just have enough money to get gas in my car, and maybe, something else through the week in case something happens with dinner. Sometimes I get shorted on things on my grocery order. Some things that I don't get them. Damn hair in my mouth. Damn store down there, they forget your things. We do an online grocery order from Walmart, and a lot of times they forget the shit. So you find this out whenever you're trying to make dinners. A lot of times don't go over the list. A lot of times you'll find that out when you're making dinners and you don't have everything to complete the dinner for that night. That happened tonight. So I had to run down because I was making coleslaw, and I usually use the Marzetti's coleslaw sauce. And I had to go to the store and get a jar because the jar I ordered in my grocery order for last Friday didn't come. I thought it was here, but it was not. So I had to go to the store and get that tonight. Wasted more gas. Last night, she ran out of cigarettes. I ran up, bought cigarettes. Cigarettes around here are $11, almost $12 a pack. For the 100s, the Pall Malls that are cheap. Those are the cheapest ones. And I'd run up, 6 packs of them were like almost $70 with taxes and all that bullshit. So you're talking, that's a really bad habit anyhow. I haven't smoked for like 23 years. Almost 23. This summer will be 23 years. So, actually this September will be 23. But she has smoked ever since I met her until the present. She smoked, it's a filthy, dirty habit. It's horrible. It's terrible. They put all kinds of chemicals in it, but eating today's food isn't any different than smoking cigarettes. And I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can go out and smoke and eat the food, and you'll probably get about the same effects. Everything now is designed to give you cancer, The processed food has chemicals in it, that farmers spray on crops. Because you grow grains in order to make bread, cereals, oatmeal. All this stuff is sprayed with pesticides from Roundup because they got the big contract with all these big commercial farmers, and they spray all their stuff with this. That's why when you eat spaghetti or you eat regular white bread, you eat it and it balloons up inside of your body and you start to swell up. You take on water and you have all this inflammation. My left leg swells up every night. And it used to not. It used to wait till the night to swell up. Now it swells up as soon as I put weight on it in the morning. It swells up like that. So I wear compression socks. It helps. Compression socks really help. Keeps that blood circulating, and I take water pills when I'm really bloated up and I have lots of inflammation. I will take water pills. I will take the diuretics, and that helps. It gets rid of a lot of water. It makes you piss like crazy, but it's better than the alternative. to sit around because my face will get all swollen. You've seen some other videos where my face is really swelled up. And I mean, at the time being right now, it's not real bad, but it'll get worse as the night goes on. So I ate my dinner a little bit ago, and I ate a little bit of bread with my dinner, so I'm going to swell up. I had pulled pork and coleslaw sandwiches, and you know that bread makes you swell up, and the huge amounts of processed sugar that's in the stuff that we have. I mean, it's to the point where it's the norm. And if you go over to another country, even if you just go down to Mexico, you'll see that a lot of those ingredients, there isn't a real long list of ingredients. I mean, on our food here in the United States, there's a long list of food ingredients that are unnecessary. So, watch what the fuck you buy. I buy the 647 bread, the keto stuff. It has a very small list of stuff that's in there. There is a preservative, but there's no high fructose corn syrup. There's no sugar in it. It's flour, it's yeast, salt, and water. And then there's a couple preservatives in there, just to preserve the freshness of it. That bread actually molds. After you have it a week, it's moldy by the end of the week, so you got to eat it up. Like Sunbeam bread or Wonder Bread, regular sandwich bread. That shit has a mile long of ingredients on the list of ingredients. It's like half the fucking package on one side, half the bag. And that shit does not mold. It doesn't even smell yeasty. After a few days, it doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't mold. I've had bread in there. I had a loaf of Sunbeam bread I bought, and I had it in there for a month. I forgot about it. It sat on the table. I didn't really pay attention to it because we bought the other bread, and I had no reason to eat the Sunbeam bread. So it sat there and sat there and sat there. It sat there for a month, and it didn't even mold. Now, what the fuck is up with that shit? That is insane. That is insanity. But it's just like, I mean, they're trying to price us out to death. Just remember this. Remember the struggle when you're going out there to the polls this November. Remember the struggle. Remember all the bullshit that this administration's putting you through. If you're a working man like me that used to be middle class, they have successfully shoved me out of middle class and down at the poverty line. I am just right at the poverty line. I'm not below it yet, but I'm sure it won't take long to knock me the rest of the way down there. And the outfit I work for, they're dragging their feet with raises. I don't know if they just don't have any money or if they're just refusing to give us raises. I don't know. But it's like, even for an example, I went to Wendy's one night to get some burgers and french fries. It was on a weekend. It was a Friday night. Everybody wanted Wendy's. So I went to Wendy's. I got what they had down. We placed an order online. I went down to pick it up. Picked it up, brought it home. It tasted like absolutely nothing. It did not have a taste. It tasted like nothing. And it was really sloppy and disgusting. I had white tomatoes on my fucking sandwich. They were white instead of red. They were white. The cheese didn't even taste like cheese. It didn't even look like cheese. It looked like yellow curdled milk on there. And the burger patties didn't even look like burgers. I don't know what the fuck they was. I mean, maybe not every Wendy's is like that. I can't say. But I can say this, that the one in my area is. Another example is McDonald's. McDonald's is the same way. Everything at McDonald's is greasy and extremely tasteless. Everything. Their french fries, their burgers. I got a double quarter pounder one night and some French fries, and it tasted like nothing. The onions didn't have a flavor. The fucking ketchup, nothing had flavor on it. The burger patties were bland and tasteless and disgusting. They were just horrible, horrible shit. And I was like, why? Why is this? And it's because I guess they've changed the food. They're turning it into poison. I don't know. I don't know why, but I notice a difference in this food within the last 8 months. All this food, all this fast food around here is completely, utterly tasteless. Now, Arby's, I've been there a couple times. Their stuff still has flavor. I can actually still eat their stuff. Burger King, some of their stuff, yes. They're like their chicken sandwiches, except for the original. The original chicken sandwich lost its flavor a long time ago. I don't know what the fuck they did to that, but they sure did fuck it up. It tastes like shit now. Their spicy, crispy chicken sandwiches are very good. Their Whoppers are, they're okay. I don't buy that Impossible Whopper. I've tried them. They don't taste like meat at all. They just taste like some smoky disc on there. Not really anything, but yeah, folks, when you go to the polls in November, sit and think about this. Think about how horrible corporate America is treating us, and how terrible this administration is, how they have driven you to the brink of poverty. I mean, maybe most of you aren't at poverty. Maybe you're all doing well. I don't know. But I am not. Me and my wife together made $96,000 last year, and it doesn't even feel like it. It feels like I am a teenager making $4.25 an hour again. Because when I get my paycheck, it's gas, a little bit to eat, and it's gone. A couple bills paid. My electricity bill is like $2,000 just about every month. I can't pay it. I'm on a payment plan. I'm making payments to the power company to keep my lights on. And the only thing that's saving me from them coming to shut it off is because it's cold outside. It's wintertime. And I can only hide under that so long. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold out on that. They're going to come one day and shut it off, but I can turn it back on. I know how to turn it back on. They just put these plastic nubs over your meter. I open your meter box, unplug your meter, put plastic things over it, plug it back in, and shut the box, put a seal on it. I can take the seal apart without them knowing. I can pull it off there, and I can pull the plastic things off, plug it back in. I've done it. Done it before. Back when I was laid off, one time they came and shut it off on me, and I just went out there and opened her up and turned her back on. They didn't know for about 3 months. And then they threatened to sue me and all this other shit, and I told them to go fuck themselves. And, I told them, I was like, hey, I said, I got to live here, man. I'm drawing unemployment, and I don't have a job. So that was back in 2009. I didn't have a job from the beginning of 2009 till like the end of 2010. Almost said 2010. 2010, that's when I got my truck driving license and started driving dump trucks around. But anyhow, I'm kind of getting off the path here. But yeah, and car insurance is another racket. I already explained that to you. You already know all about that bullshit. My health care is free where I work. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. That may end. Probably next enrollment, that'll probably end because they keep changing it. Every enrollment comes around, they keep changing something on it. So I figure free health care will probably disappear for me and my coworkers, probably in the next enrollment, which is January of next year. But I mean, like, I understand not everybody likes Donald Trump. I don't particularly really like the guy myself. He says a lot of dumb shit. He runs his mouth a lot. He brags a lot. But I'm going to tell you this. The other guy I cannot vote for. I can't vote for Biden. He has just ruined everything I thought that was good about Democrats. He has thrown out the window. And he can't be running the country. That's why I say Barack Obama is behind the scenes running the country with a microphone, and Joe has an earpiece. Of course, Joe is so senile now. He can barely walk around. He can't walk up a flight of stairs without tripping and falling down. He can't do anything right. He forgets things. He has no idea where the hell he is most of the time, and he can't even get off the stage after he's done speaking. They got to come up and guide him off the stage. And now they're all in denial about his condition, saying how he's sharp and all this other bullshit. I can see it on the fucking news. I can see this guy fucking up. I can see the dementia. I knew two people that had it. My grandma had it, and a friend up the road here from me had it. And it destroyed their lives slowly. They didn't know who they was, where they were. They forgot how to do the simplest things. And that's what happens to you when you get Alzheimer's. You get up there. Some people, it doesn't hit them until they're 80. And some people, it hits them when they fucking turn 58 or 60. It's just how it is. That shit fucking happens. I mean, this guy is clearly not in his right mind. And they're stringing him the fuck along and trying to play off all of his bullshit like it's normal. And it's not normal. And it's because these Democrats want to stay in power. They want to stay in power and stay where they are. And I think that we need term limits on these senators and congressmen because they're in there for too long. These people are very rich, very dangerous individuals, and they need shut down. They need kicked out of here. They need voted out, and they need imprisoned because they're all committing treason. And it's craziness. I never ever thought that I would live to see something like that happen and rise up again. But here it is. It's to the point where kids in schools, not in my area that I know of, but in other areas, other states, other fully ran Democratic states, kids don't even know how to do math. They don't even know how to read. And they're in like 5th and 6th grade. They don't even know how to add or subtract or even write a check. They don't know how to even write their name in cursive. And people are coming out and, not knowing how to drive vehicles and fucking wrecking each other, slamming into each other and being fucking insane idiots. I see this shit happening before my very eyes. I never thought I would see it happen, but here it is. We're living it right now. It's happening. So everybody, I'm just going to give you the message. Please vote these people out. Think about how horrible things are going for you right now. If you're anything like, if you're a working person, you don't have a lot of options. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything because you don't have any money, and you work fucking 50-hour work weeks, sometimes 56-hour work weeks, and you still don't have any money when you get paid. I mean, it's time for a change here, people. The cost of living has surpassed my income by a lot. In order for you to be considered middle class right now, you would have to make $170,000 a year to be comfortable, to be considered middle class. And that is just not relevant anymore. I make by myself, $58,000 a year by myself. It's the most money I've ever made in my life. I've never made this much money. And I had a good run for 13 years, and now it's all gone. It's just like I regressed. It's like I was a toddler that was learning how to walk, and then the next day I couldn't walk anymore. I started crawling again. That's what I feel like. So I'm urging everybody, please, any of you that can hear the sound of my voice, vote these douchebags out in November. Please vote them out of here. They need to go. We have an alternative, a better one. We need to vote him in there. I know he's not the best one that we need right now, but we definitely need these kooks out of there because they are just going to run this country in the ground. We're going to be slaves before we know it. Slaves to labor and slaves to taxes. I pay so many fucking taxes. I owe in taxes. We did our taxes. We haven't submitted them yet, but we owe the fucking federal government $90, which I'm glad I don't owe them more. But there's always a distinct possibility they could come back and audit me and tell me that I owe them more money. And that's where we need to get rid of the IRS, because they want to come and take all your shit. If you owe money, they just want to come take your stuff. And I'm not going to let them do that. I have means of keeping them at bay. I can do it. They would have to come here and pry my stuff from my cold dead fingers before I let them have it. So anyway, everybody, try to think positive somehow or another. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one, if there is a next time. Have a good one, everybody.